Apologize for the delay in one.
Actually, we're on time.
Call this meeting to order. Stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Before we continue, I'd like to make a motion that in the absence of the regular chairman, that we nominate Steve Ali to be chairman for tonight's meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Does everyone look at this last name? All in favor?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes from last. Second.
Opposed? Second. Any correspondence at this time?
There is no correspondence at this time.
Old business? Pursue new business? Let's see here. So it's a Zoom meeting, so there's public is limited. During the insert.
We're not on, so we're on YouTube Live. And since we don't have any old business, the new business, I can read the first application. Everyone's ready? Okay. First applicant is Abby Ranieri from TDA 4230 River Street, Willoughby, Ohio 44094. Owner is Lake Ridge Academy, 37501 Center Ridge Road, North Ridgeville, Ohio 44039. Request is for approval for relocation of the historic barn and silo and construction of a pergola to create an outdoor educational space. Location is 37501 Center Ridge Road in R1 district. Permanent parcel number 0700-034-000-063. And the comments from Chief Building Official Guy Fersen, all appears to be compliant. Comments from City Engineer Daniel Rodriguez. Detailed site improvement plan shall be submitted to the engineering department for review and approval. That is the end of the comments.
Anything like to open up?
Chairman might want to ask the applicants if they're here, if they would like to explain the project.
Step forward, state your name and direction.
Hi, I'm Abby Ranieri from TDA, and do you need me to state the address for the record? Okay. So our address is 4230 River Street, Willoughby, Ohio 44094. So thanks for having us tonight. As we submitted some photos of the existing barn and the existing silo. Oh, actually, before I get too much further, the CFO Pete Surson and Ron Goslin are also here from Lake Ridge Academy, just to support and speak on behalf of the project if anything comes up. So we submitted photos of the historic barn and silo. We're working in conjunction with a landscape designer who is located the barn, coordinating the barn. And so just south of the existing Kemper Science and Engineering building, which was approved through this process and through the city, a few years ago, this will supplement the educational opportunities in that building. So that science building has a greenhouse in it. And then, so just south of that greenhouse is an existing garden. So really it is to create additional outdoor space for the use of the K-12 students for science projects. Not really proposing any alterations to either. It's truly a relocation of both of those structures. And then pergola will be a pergola will be adjacent to the silo as indicated on the scope document. We are still working through the site engineering. We have engaged Grand Hall engineers to do that civil scope and submit for plan review permit. So what we submitted to you all was simply, a scope diagram showing the locations of all the components, and then the photographs just show the existing structures in their current locations. Happy to answer any questions that you have.
Is this barn and silo, are they historical artifacts or structures, or they, because they look to be in severe disrepair?
They're not necessarily of any historical significance in a way that you might be asking. They're at a farm in Waldo, Ohio, and trying to create kind of a rustic, outdoor classroom look.
One question I have, and I'll direct it towards the engineer. Is this something that you may be involved in? Moving these buildings, or is this something?
No, not from the moving standpoint. The only thing I would like to see is, as stated, they're gonna be submitting a civil plan here shortly. When those plans come in, I'll do a review of those plans, and we'll get that back out. Just from the building standpoint, since Mr. Ferguson is not here, I was just wondering like how the re-erection process is gonna go, and then are these buildings gonna be re-erected in a manner that's safe for the kids to be underneath them or in them, or whatever the case might be?
Yeah, so with the barn in particular, we'll be proposing all new foundations for that barn. And we also have engaged a structural engineering firm to provide calculations to the building department, just speaking to the integrity of the existing structures, because it's not intended that there be a lot of new structural components to either of these, just the foundations would be new. But we have all the dimensionally all the existing information about all the existing structures, and those calculations, as I said, will be submitted with our engineering drawings. I have been in touch with Mr. Furston regarding the project, and similar to your comments, city engineer, he's just looking for those engineering documents as well, particularly information about the foundations, is what I understood from our conversation.
Perfect. Thank you.
I have to admit, I'm assuming that you're gonna try to move these things whole rather than disassemble. Is that accurate?
I have to lean on you both for that. As far as the gentleman who is helping us with procuring these structures, I don't have a lot of details on the logistics or how they plan to move either of those structures. If that's something that you need some more information on.
No, it's more curiosity than anything.
But the benches that we have. So.
Yes, the silo in particular, 18 feet diameter, so I assume so as well, but I quite honestly don't have any details on that.
Thinking of someone that has experience in this kind of area. Especially it's staying basically on site, so I'm not worried about road permits. So I move that we plans as submitted. Second. Aye.
I will be in touch with you all. So we can repeat it.
Oh, great, thank you.
Thank you very much. I know this is a little backwards, but I was just curious because not take forward, if I can take it now, just to have it for the record. Okay. So members of the planning commission, Ali. Brookman. Swallow is excused today. Evans.
Here.
And Smollett is excused. Members of the administration, Assistant Law Director Morgan, and City Engineer Rodriguez.
Here.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And now the second applicant. Okay, applicant is Joe Sines, K. Hovnanian Cleveland, 3296 Columbia Road, Richfield, Ohio, 44286. The owner is same. Request is final plat approval for Meadow Lake subdivision, phase number 19. Location, Meadow Lake subdivision in a KCD R1 district. Permanent parcel number 0700331220004. Comments from Chief Building Official Guy Fursden. Number 1, Meadow Lake subdivision number 19 has 51 cluster lots on 19.5772 acres with a density of 2.61. 51 lots divided by 19.5772 acres equals 2.61 density. Number 2, Meadow Lake subdivision number 19 has 13% open space. 2.6121 acres divided by 19.5772 total acres equals 0.13. And number 3, Meadow Lake subdivision number 19 is the final phase of the Meadow Lake subdivision. Applicant shall show compliance for the overall density and the overall open space. Comments from City Engineer Daniel Rodriguez. Number 1, all improvements have been installed for this phase. A final punch list will be created in the coming weeks. And number 2 is no further comment at this time. End of comments.
This time I'd like to ask Mr. Julian, who would like to come forward with questions.
Applicant is here. If you can come forward.
Report this. Take your name.
Sure. My name is Jeffrey Bertushin. I am here representing K. Canadian on behalf of the applicant Joe Sines, who couldn't be here today. So the Meadow Lake subdivision is reaching its final phase, phase 19. We've submitted plot plans for approval that were based on a previous conditional approval. And the comments, I believe, with the open space and density were addressed with the spreadsheet that was forwarded off to Guy Ferguson. I received an email back stating that everything seemed in order and in compliance with previous phases up to this point. And I don't believe there are really any other comments at this point to address, but there is anything here to answer any questions. Anything else on?
Mr. Chairman? Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
One question, is this actually the final?
Yes.
I think this is my third final.
Well, I guess for right now, and everything that we have, worked out, it is. But, maybe get lucky, there will be another one too. So, but right now, this, as far as I know, it is the final thing for phase 19.
I was just gonna make a motion to accept the application. Accept it.
Just make a couple comments beforehand. Through the chair. As far as this being the final phase, it is the final phase. We will be working with Mr. Ratuchin and his counterpart, Joe Sines, to finish up some outstanding items on a lot of phases, dating back to phase 13, which is about 4 years ago. So through this process, we're gonna go through, since this is the final one, we wanna kind of get everything cleaned up and make sure everything's in order before we issue final compliance on 19, but for the most part, all the work is done. 19 is fine. We want to keep bringing up some of the rear stuff, so that way, when they're done, and it's like move on. So through, that's all I have for this evening.
Mr. Rodriguez, one of my concerns is their density and making sure that they're meeting the original agreement.
Yes, I don't know the original agreement, but Mr. Ferguson did send out an email, and I don't know if he sent it out to the whole board, that stated that they were code compliant or density compliant with this phase, with all phases. As far as I know, that's correct.
I have to admit, I'm a bit concerned about the size of the lots. That's a personal concern. It's a personal concern.
The last time I talked with them, they were in compliance.
Yeah.
They were. Cato, they were doing a great job as far as building and stuff like that, the issues and the problems they've been handling, so. I'm impressed as far as the builder, they're doing a good job. Sure.
Yeah, and the motion is still on the floor then?
Is that motion still stand then?
I believe it does.
Okay,
Yes, as long as there's no more questions.
then I'll second it.
Well, I think we should add to the motion as far as what Mr. Rodriguez said, as long as everything's been compliant. And it falls, you know. That's everything's properly done and yes.
So the motion is, would you like to restate your motion to accept with the,
Comments?
So we accept it with the comments from the city engineer.
okay,
And second.
With that being said,
yes, I can take roll. Ali,
yes.
Grotman,
Yes.
Evans.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries with a vote of 3-0. Okay, and I will also be in touch with you, and I can, I'll forward you the email, and I can also copy Joe regarding the signed application.
Great.
Okay.
Great. Thank you very much.
Make a motion, there's no questions or comments, motion to adjourn.
Anything else? Let's see, concerns.
I had a couple questions, but
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
he's gone now. We're good. I'm concerned with 19 phases in that development. I mean, that
Do you want us
development's
to
huge.
grab him before he gets out of here?
And we get-
I mean, it
really,
already
we've
passed.
already voted on it,
Yeah,
so
it's already
it's,
passed.
I apologize, sorry.
Sorry, Holly. What were your questions and concerns?
Meadow Lakes is huge. It's its own
Sure.
city. I mean,
There's no doubt.
we have,
a lot of
we have
homes.
severe stress on our fire, our police. I mean, it's just mind blowing. You know, their final plat was 3 plats ago.
Mr. Chairman, this wasn't on our agenda, so we could put it on the agenda to discuss it another time.
Should we
Have
It's
table it, or?
It's already passed. It's already.
It has.
It's already passed.
Just
Kind of
one comment
little.
to that I would add to that was that I believe, and this is hearsay to me, but I was told that Meadow Lakes is supposed to be larger than what these are. So there has been some cutbacks in the size of Meadow Lakes. It wasn't, it was supposed to be larger than this. There's supposed to be more clusters. So there were some bigger lots that in phases as they developed over the last 20 years or whatever it's been, they didn't change. So they have met all the requirements that are set up by the PCD, PCD I think we have here.
Right, and the PCD isn't being used.
Yeah, we're not using the PCD anymore, so.
In
That should
addition, Chief Reese, or I assume Chief Reese or one of his assistants did review it and has no comments.
Well, I know they're talking about wanting to put another fire station in there.
Yes, and
And
there's
they're
a
talking about that for,
proposed fire station number 2 or 3, excuse me, for Barris and Stony Ridge, so that will help in that future development, if that ever comes to fruition.
Right.
because when I've talked to Chief Reese, he says he has the equipment to put into Station 3, and he would only have to hire, I think he said 2 or 3 more persons to fully staff it. So it's coming, but it's a matter of, as usual,
Time and money.
money.
So, and with that being said, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Also,
Second.
second, please.
Thank you.
Meeting is adjourned.